Hello YouTube fans, here again. And this one's an interesting one. I remember once talking about James Bond, about the reviews of James Bond and so on, but there was one that was not the official James Bond movie, even though it stars the late Sean Connery, may he rest. This was technically not a James Bond movie. Well, apparently, there's supposed to be a Blu-ray out there, which is supposed to be sort of like a special version. Whether it's a fan cut, whether it's a director's cut, whether it's a new producer's cut, whatever, but there's a version out there where it's been made to look like a official Bond movie. Now, I don't know if people are listening, I don't know a lot about the Bond films, I know a lot of things about certain things and so on, so without sounding like I know it all, I do know a lot of history of the Bond films. Like I do know that this Bond movie, what I'm about to talk about, is Never Say Never Again. And everyone knows the history of this will technically know that Never Say Never Again, technically, was a remake of Thunderball. I shit you not, it was a remake of Thunderball. And what they've done, because they couldn't have the rights, to the famous ball, you know, the ball that comes out in every opening, and whoever's playing Bond walks the toss, you shoot, you get the blood going down, you get the Bond theme. They couldn't sell that, they couldn't sell the main tickets with some beautiful girls doing a topical dance. You've got the song, they couldn't do that. Why, I don't know, because there have been other films that have sort of done similar stuff like that, but for some reason they couldn't. So all you get in the opening is a middle-aged man with a dead Sean Connery running in a fucking field. You've got the most worstest, irritating song in history. Never say never again. I'm not going to do the rest. If you think that's bad, hear the song. It is horrendous. But what they've done on this version, they've not used shitty CGI. They've actually used the effects. How they've done it, I do not know. But they've made it look exactly like it's in that day of when the film was made. Now, we all know in that day, 1983, they were in competition with another Bond movie, being the official Bond movie, with Once More, may he also rest. That being Octopussy. So they're both in competition in the same day. They're both good in their own right. But yeah, I do admit, Never Say Never Again does have whistles, what I've just said, rewind back. And I do remember once talking about a fan version where they used the main tickets, they used the original artist, what was going to originally sing to Never Say Never Again. Why Sean Connery, nobody attends him, why he did not agree with this artist, I do not know, because this was a hell of a better song than what we got. And a really good opening. I actually like the fan version of that. I remember talking about it, but this one is a different version. So they brought it out on Blu-ray, they bettered the effects, they bettered the action scenes. You don't get the guy, remember the guy that played Sean Bean, played in Blackadder, I can't think of his name now. But you know the minute you see him, Mr. Bean. He's not in this, they've had to cut all the scenes out with him in it. I don't know how they've done it, but they managed to do it. They're doing it a different type of ending. They've altered the music to make it sound more like the music you hear in the later Bond movies, whether it be the Roger Moore's later ones or Timothy Dalton's first one, The Living Daylights. They use that sort of music. So you do get the boom, 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 boom. You get that, but it's more like how it would have sounded in the days of Roger Moore's Bond films. So you get the barrel scene. You get the bit I've just shown. I love the way they've done it. They've actually made it look like Sean Connery in that era, walking, he shoots, the blood fit, what I've just said. You get that. And then you've got this bit with an aeroplane. It's fine a toss. It fires this thing. And I love the way it sees, it's like a teen thing, and it can zoom in. And then it drops down. Our man, Sean Connery, comes in. And I think that's really good way to open the film. It looked better. You've not got this guy, 50 odd, running across the fucking forest, looking like he's fucking lost, looking like he's looking for his lost dog. It makes sense. He's on a mission. Well, you think he's on a mission, but he's training. There, you've got the rest of the action scenes. You see it. You don't get that horrible music. And never say never again. Never You don't get that music what paid for the fucking backdown, what's so off-putting. You don't get that. You get some of the sound effects. It looks good. You get the Bond theme. He goes to save the day. You see Never Say Never Again. You find out he was training. He gets stabbed in the arm, and then you get a main check-it. This bit I do have issues with because I risked they used the bit what was in the fan one where they sold the main tickets, they sold Sean Connery as Bond, all the adventures he did, whether it be the first, Doctor No, through From Muscle Will Love to Thunderball, blah 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 blah. I risked to do that. That's my only issue. That is my only issue. But the rest of it, I didn't mind. I just wish they had that original song. I never say never again. I'm not going to sing it, I'll kill it. But if you heard the original artist, you've got an idea it is a better song than the one we got. Instead, you've got Tis Tis Bang Bang, which was sang by Sorry Basser. I think originally it was going to be used for Thunderball, but they kind of stopped it. We know the history there. Tom Jones got to sing the theme Thunderball. So you've got Tis Tis Bang Bang. And I'm sorry, that's a bit where I've got a moan. Because I just didn't think that went with the film. It's very 60s. I get it, Sean Connery was more of a 60s Bond. But for a film, for what? Early 1980s. I just didn't think it went with it. It just, I would have just preferred the Never Say Never Again, the original song. But the rest of it's dud. You've got like Connery, he's now going on to a mission. You still got the bits where he's in the thing and, the exercise pace, the lesser pace. He's taking advantage of that nurse. You got fucking all that. You got Pat Roach as the wrestler. He's still in that, I'm happy to say. And they do, like I say, they alter some of the action, so they make some of the action look better. You don't get jazz music. You got some of the music they use in the Bond movies with Roger Moore. They don't cut some of the humour, because that sort of humour, like I say, with Mr. Beam, Secret Agent, that silly sort of humour, that goes with a Roger Moore Bond film. I like Roger Moore, don't get me wrong. But to me, Roger Moore and Connery is two different fucking agents. I just didn't think it went with a Sean Connery Bond film, even though officially it's not a Bond film. But now it feels like you're watching a James Bond movie. You've got the gun barrel opening, you've got the shoot, the blood, the main song. Even though I weren't keen on it, I would have preferred the original song to Never Say Never Again. I think that was a lot better. That's just me being nitpicky there. I do like the way it's done. The pacing is a lot better. It feels more like you're watching a Bond movie. It just feels really good. I'd love to get that version of Never Say Never Again. I've heard it's a lot better. But anyone was not really keen on the non-official Bond movie, I would say give it a go, because you'd be surprised. It's one that's more better. It's better thingy. You're not got as much silly humour in it. It feels, Sean Connery feels more now like he's Bond. He's now in the Bond universe. It feels more like this is the seventh Bond movie. When you think about it, Roger Moore did 7 Bond films. We know that. This feels now like Sean Connery has done 7 Bond films. It feels more like an official Bond movie. Now, how they've got the rights, I don't know. Because I'll do a bit of history here. Never Say Never Again was originally done by Water Buffers, right? Over the days. Then when when DVD come out, they had a different company running it. Then when it come on Blu-ray, MTM got the rights. I know there's a lot of competition with MTM, Universal and all that. That's why in the mid-90s, we got another Bond movie. It took them years, and that's why poor Timothy Dalton never had the luxury of doing a third Bond film. A different debate another day. But for some reason, they've got the MTM logo at the opening. They've got Universal. And you got the one I just said, rewind all the way back, the opening, the dumb barrel, all that. And it just feels like you're watching a Bond movie. I loved a bit of the airplanes, fine across. It doesn't look very thingy. It feels like it's part of the film. So, like, you can always tell when things have edited it and you put different bits in. You can always tell, the cutting, the pacing, all that. But in this, you couldn't really tell. It wasn't really that noticeable. So I would recommend looking for this special version. It's on Blu-ray of Never Say Never Again. I don't think you're going to get it in any shop anywhere, but if you look around, maybe bootleg, you hear me say that, give it a go. So, Never Say Never Again. If I ever find that version, you want to be curious about and I'll be interested about the internet. Be smart, be safe. See you later.